So I wanted to welcome everyone to the training module for sourcing. We've specially developed this module for you. So what we really want to do is take you through these processes, make you understand these processes, and you need to imbibe these processes as part of the way you work. Okay, this has to become the Arvind way of working, and that is what we are really looking at. We will have a certain assessment program that will happen after this. You will all be assessed on how you've actually taken this. I hope that's clear, so all the best.
Arvind Center of Excellence. The primary objective of the department is to support the designers with new developments in minimum turnaround time. The new developments include innovations in patterns and garment styling, embroidery, washes, and finishes. The department also helps in any last-moment alterations in SMS samples in a short time. To liquidate the leftover fabric, conversion is done to optimize the ACE capacity and to minimize the sampling value loss.
Arvind Center of Excellence, we fondly call as ACE, was established keeping in mind four basic requirements of the business. First was innovation and development, second was prototyping, third was ACE as a knowledge center, and fourth was speed to the market for fast fashion. Regarding innovation, we organize ACE Week or ACE Day, where we call upon our complementers, innovators, and they showcase the latest technology which is present in market for apparels, fabric manufacturing, the raw materials, and chemical finishes. Apart from that, we have a team of wash technician, fit technicians, pattern masters who keeps on innovating products in terms of finish, in terms of garment construction and fits. During the season, we keep on constant touch with these innovators, basically all those chemical suppliers, the finish suppliers, even the cotton growers and yarn manufacturers and fabric manufacturers. We actually are medium between the suppliers and the brands and the design team to interact and come together. Typically in our industry, the mind to market lead time is about 45 to 46 weeks. It includes the development time and then production of fabrics, trims, as well as finishes and the production of garments. With the help of facilities available in ACE, we can actually reduce this lead time from 28 weeks to 2 weeks, and because of which we can hit very early to the market. Let's say if you have few styles where we really want to catch up the market and the fashion, we can use this platform. In ACE, we have two kinds of resource center. We have a virtual as well as a physical knowledge library. In physical library, we have catalogs, brochures, and other printed material on the latest technology available. The virtual library consists of newsletters which are available on web. We do have forecasting subscriptions like WGSN on the seasons, next seasons and future seasons, like the newsletters what we regularly publish on ACE Week, ACE Day. As for example, the Takaya trend, which we have subscribed and we receive it daily. We circulate it to all the stakeholders in the organization. In terms of the physical library, we have catalogs of embroideries, prints and trims available in the market for the season. Apart from that, we have technical guidance books like how to make a perfect shirt, how to make perfect collar, and what kind of dyes and chemicals and processes are available in market. We do take special projects like how to improve collars, fits, as well as fabrics and thread consumptions, and it is based on the special request by the brands or sourcing team.
ACE Merchandiser facilitates between designers, sourcing department, product team, and the in-house sampling team for new developments and SMS samples. Terminology. Docket. A document which includes design sheet, bill of material, artwork details, measurement specification sheet, and other technical details. Spec sheet, specification sheet which includes measurement specification of a style. Proto sample, first sample used to close styling. Indent, requisition form which can be for garment, fabric, and trims. ACE Tracker, a data entry software for sampling department to track the status of the loaded sample. Fit trial, to check the fit of the sample on a live model. Leg or hand mocks, sample representative of a partial leg or sleeve panel used for color approval for heavy washed and garment dyed programs. Salesman sample, SMS. Salesman sample is made in actual fabric and trims which is used for display in retail room for customer feedback. Sealed specs, finalized or frozen measurement specs. Delivery challan, a confirmation received against sample handover. Procedure 1. Indent and docket handover. The process initiates with ACE merchant receiving the indent and dockets from the sourcing merchant in second week of April. ACE merchant receives indents and dockets from the sourcing merchant and maintains a master sheet specifying indent receiving dates, pattern numbers, proto fabric code, proto approval date, fabric code, trim code, wash details, etc. Do's and don'ts. No activities to be taken without indent with proper detail. Indents should specify block details. In case there are major changes done to the style, the revised final sample submission timeline should be committed to them by ACE and sourcing team. Procedure 2. Spec pattern creation. ACE merchant hands over the dockets to the fit technician for the creation of specs and patterns for all the styles as soon as they receive the indent from the sourcing merchant. ACE merchant hands over the dockets to the fit technician. If the sample is to be made in-house, then both pattern and specs are given. If the sample is to be made by the vendor, only specs are given by the fit technician. Only in case of complicated style, both pattern and specs are provided to proceed for proto. Do's and don'ts. No pattern will be issued to the outside factory for sampling by ACE without issuing corresponding proto sample. Final proto sample being issued to any factory for SMS or production must be approved by design or tech for fit. Every spec sheet issued must have tolerance specified against each measurement. Spec creation will be style specific with all the relevant point of measurement in detail. Every base spec or graded spec must carry pattern reference number. Every pattern generated must carry unique block reference number. Turnaround time, 24 hours or 48 hours, defined for the respective activities, must be adhered strictly by the tech or pattern masters. The same has to be monitored and recorded by the sampling merchandiser. Procedure 3. Fabric code for proto. Simultaneously, the sourcing merchant advises the fabric code for proto development to ACE merchant at most by 4th week of April. Sourcing merchant advises fabric code for proto to the ACE merchant after taking approval from the designer. Procedure 4. Material requisition. Ace Merchant collects fabric and trims from the fabric and trim store respectively against material requisition indent. Do's and don'ts. If pre-wash is required, the fabric should be given to the concerned person with wash details. Ace Merchant should keep a track on it and collect it the next day. Smart tip. In case of unavailability of closest quality, the designer should be intimated about the last moment hassles, and by usage of SMS fabric for proto may lead to shortage for roadshow sample. Procedure 5. Indent, fabric and trims handover for proto. Ace Merchant hands over the indent, proto fabric and alternate trims to the sampling department and follows up with the sampling coordinator. Indent, fabric and trims are handed over to the sampling in charge. Simultaneously, style entry to be done in Ace Tracker.
For merchandisers especially, they should ensure that the sample made at Ace is production friendly or feasible in production. It should be discussed with sourcing team as well as the quality team, and if they find that any of the construction details won't be met in the production, they should immediately highlight it with the product designer or merchandisers and get it rectified. Second thing is that they should ensure that enough fabric stock and trims are available to churn out the samples, especially proto samples and fit samples. And in case of a quick requirement in terms of fast fashion, they should take it up directly with the Ace head, and the sampling should be taken up as quick as possible without any hindrance.
Procedure 6. Proto evaluation. Ace Merchant hands over the proto to the fit technician. The fit technician does the proto evaluation. The proto is handed over to the concerned fit technician to only comment on fit and construction. Do's and don'ts. If there are any minor changes in the proto, then the vendor should move directly into SMS. If there are any major changes in the proto, then ask for base pattern, correct it in Ace, make a mock sample and return with approval for SMS.
The smart tips to merchandisers regarding every Ace merchandiser should ensure that all the fits developed in past should be available in our fit library in form of digitized patterns. It could be in form of a style pattern or a block pattern, and whenever there is a new requirement on development, they should consult the technician to align the development with the existing fit or block. One has to also ensure that each and every fit or pattern is given the unique identity or unique reference number.
Procedure 7. Conducting fit trials for proto. And conducts the fit trials with the brand team. If the proto gets approved, it is then proceeded for SMS. If it is not approved, re-proto is developed and the process should end by 3rd week of May. Ace Merchant sends out a request mail for fit trial to the product team. Product team, designer, fit technician and Ace merchandiser participate in the fit trials. It can be on live models or any body forms. Fit comments are given by the fit technician on mail to the sourcing merchant. Do's and don'ts. Product team, ACE merchandiser, designer and the fit technician should be present during fit trials. Fit trials should be conducted at second floor in the ACE trial room. Role of the ACE merchandiser is to keep record of number of samples approved and rejected. Never proceed with SMS without fit approval. Comments given on the samples submitted should be clear enough to the vendor to do the corrections.
At ACE, we have observed that the product merchandisers as well as designers insist on having fit trials only on live models, or many times we have requested that the fit trial should be done on the designer herself. There are negatives to it. First thing is that a person specs changes from one fit trial to another fit trial. We have observed at ACE that many times even the live models, they put on weight, because of which the actual specs varies, whereas the standardized body forms, they remain intact. The specs are intact from first fit trial to the last fit trial. So we insist that every brand should have the standardized body forms based on their customer type, and all the fit trials to be carried out only on the standard body forms. And at ACE, even the fit technician should always advise the product merchandiser or designers to try onto these body forms. An ACE technician should only comment onto the technical aspect of the garment, like fit or garment construction, whereas a designer should only concentrate on aesthetic part of the garment fit. She or he should never comment onto the fit or other technical details. The prototype samples are made in similar garment construction on an alternate fabric and print. So one should never reject a prototype sample based on the fabric type or print, whereas the fit sample is made based on the fit, and the garment construction or aesthetic should never be considered. In case of SMS, which is a final representation of the final product, it can be rejected for garment construction, fit as well as aesthetic. The fit technician and merchandiser should ensure that the fit comments are specific, to the point, and not general and vague. As for example, one should never say that the neck is too deep, reduce it a little bit. Instead of that, one can very well write the neck is 3 inches deep, reduce it to 2.5 inches. Or it can very well be explained with the help of a pictorial diagram as well. It is always advisable to give comments in a standard format, which can be easily understood by the technical person at the vendor's end. And I would really advise my team, the merchandiser and technician, to develop standard set of comments which can be used later on for any kind of technical comments to be given. In case of a designer or a product merchandiser giving vague comments and not to the point, the merchandiser should send back the comments to designer and ask them to give it in a proper format, so that we can avoid rework and save a lot of time.
Procedure 8. SMS follow-ups. SMS follow-ups are similar as that of Proto. Following up with the sourcing merchant for SMS fabric and trim in-house details. Receiving fabric and trim from store against fabric indent. sending the fabric for pre-wash if required, updating ACE tracker, loading the SMS fabric, trims, indent, rectified pattern and spec sheet with updated comments. Simultaneously developing hand mocks and leg mocks for dyeing or wash approval. Following up with sampling section and maintaining master sheet. Do's and don'ts. Mocks should be proceeded for approval as soon as the fabric is in-house. Weekly SMS status to be mailed to the sourcing merchant. Common issues. Trims may not suffice, so one should ensure that sufficient quantity of trims should be stored in-house. Heavy wash garments may lead to high shrinkage. One should ensure that the shrinkage percentage is added in the pattern. Color bleeding of trims. Precaution should be taken while garment wash. Procedure 9. Request for delivery challan. Sourcing merchant sends the SMS handover details to the fabric store in charge to further process with the delivery challan. Procedure 10. SMS handover. ACE merchant follows up for the approved SMS samples and hands it over to the sourcing merchant in first week of July. After completion of SMS samples, ACE merchant hands over the packed cartons to the sourcing merchant and sends a confirmation mail with the packed quantity details. Do's and don'ts. Update the sourcing merchant with the projected SMS handover dates and delays. Confirm the receipt after SMS handover. Procedure 11. SMS sample fit commence post roadshow. Roadshow takes place during 3rd and 4th week of July. Post roadshow, fit trials are conducted for the SMS samples which are approved for bulk. Post roadshow, fit trials takes place only for the samples on which the order has been received. Fit comments are sent to the sourcing merchant or vendor. After 2 resubmissions, sample is to be made in-house. Do's and don'ts. If the fit sample is out of docket specifications, the fit technician requests the vendor to resubmit the fit.
When we do fit trials, we make a fit sample in a pivotal size, and then it should be given to the various people across the organization who fit into, or identified models who fit into the pivotal size. After the fit size or pivotal size fit is frozen, it has to be graded, and it has to be graded according to the mutually agreed standard international norms. The standard norms can be arrived based on the customer what we are targeting, and after the grading is done, the size set which is prepared out of the frozen graded specs is to be tried only on the standard body forms.
Procedure 12. Sealed specs for production. If the fit gets approved, fit technician releases the sealer specs. If it is not approved, then it is sent for alteration and the sealer specs need to be closed by 3rd week of August. Product team requests to activate the controlled spec sheet for the selected SMS samples. Fit technician then releases sealed specs for the production to the product team or sourcing merchant. Do's and don'ts. Controlled spec sheet to be issued based on grading rule and size set to be approved by field QA. It should carry the patent reference number. If not confident of the grade rule, then the size set can also be made in ACE and graded pattern with controlled spec sheet can be issued. Vendor will not send size sets to the office for approval. At the time of issuing each controlled spec sheet, the master should ensure that the style is feasible in production. Pre-production samples not to be evaluated by the tech team and no measurement or construction changes accepted. List of approvals. Following approvals should be taken by the concerned person. Fit approval by fit technician. Fabric and trims approval by sourcing merchant. Wash approval by ACE washing merchant. Face side approval by ACE merchant. Documentation. The documents maintained by the ACE merchant are indent and docket, master sheet, material requisition form, spec sheet with comments, sealed spec sheet.